Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, Love and Light. I wanted to share with you a realization, a conversation, an epiphany, a confirmation, if you will, all wrapped up in um, my inner knowing, validating what I've always known. And today's day and age is putting a lot of labels on a lot of the morals, the values, the way that people perceive, they present themselves, the road that you walk, right? They have names for all of this now. Whether those names always existed, those labels, I don't know. I never really looked, I never really cared because I never really considered a label to be more important than the content of it. So people used to look at me and say, why do you let your kids call you by your first name? I'm like, because that was the name that I was given. And they're like, yeah, but isn't that disrespectful? And I'm like, well, no, not really, because what is a label? A label is a fancy way of creating an image of a content that you are led to believe one way or the other. And they just looked at me and they were like, they didn't understand, but I understood. That meaning that the value goes far beyond the label that it's given. The label that it's given sometimes misinterprets what the contents actually are because people don't tend to look deeper than surface level unless it's something that's of a crucial point to themselves, and they're looking to gain value or dig deeper to learn insight, and that's not against any particular person, because at every stage of life, people have to learn how to go beyond the surface to see what lays just beneath or just beyond, if you will, right? The depth of everything, which led me to understanding where I've always been, and that you can't force a person, a place, or a thing to feel the way or to respond the way or to reciprocate the way you think that they should. Maybe because it's how you do it. I know that it took me a chunk of time to realize that you could give every part that is pure and positive to another, right? And not have it returned. So that's a lopsided situation. But that doesn't, take away from the fact that you can feel so deeply in regards to whatever the person, place, or situation may be, and that the other has the ability, using their own free will, to determine for themselves what is value to them may not be value that. So here, if you feel one way and another person feels a different way, both of you share the same inspiration on the value that you received. You're just using it in different manners. So that's where the opposites, the cause, the effect, this isn't a world where you can enforce, well, you shouldn't anyway, enforce your views or your foundations or, your choices upon another, because each one of us are individuals and we all have the ability to decide for ourselves. So as I lived life, people came and people left. People that, places even, I moved, right? a bunch of times. Whether or not I felt love or a magnetic pull or connected to, that didn't keep me in a position where I was the one who was providing, all the energy, and I wasn't receiving that same energy back. So it's okay to migrate away. It truly is. I have walked away in the broad daylight from everything and everyone and every place that does not serve my highest good, that isn't on my path in order to help, but may inadvertently hurt or hinder because their free will is taking them in a direction that may not align with you. And you are growing and evolving, and your path certainly does not evolve around low dense, stagnant yesterday energy. Not to say that everything or everyone that you come in contact with is going to be portraying the energy that they held yesterday. I hope not. I hope that the energy they're holding is in the moment, in the here and the now, in the present, because that's the best way in order to change your tomorrow, by being present in today, being thankful and grateful for everything that you have, regardless if you were able to hold on to it, or if it slipped through your fingers, or if fate, if you will, or the turn of the page, maybe more specifically, flipped away from you, then it really wasn't for you to begin with. And if it was for you, it was for you to gather the value, the wisdom, and the knowledge of, and then to lovingly let go. And this way, you're still free to evolve. And so is the other, right? And that's happened to me in my life time and time again. And at first I thought it had everything to do with me, why people didn't stay. That I was too strict, too controlling in my structure and my routine, because I had a list of things that had to be done and there was no variation. They had to be done, and they had to be done daily. And those are called responsibilities, obligations, what you chose that you were going to invest your time in, and you were going to see through to the end. Whether it be school, a relationship, children, a home, like where you live, keeping it clean and tidy, your energy, your field, your aura, regardless of what responsibility that you may have, right? There's always an opportunity to gain more value and more wisdom, to pivot, to change, to adapt, to be able to see clearly what may have been hazy. And only living life allows you the ability to come full circle, to fill in your center with accomplishment, because you completed a cycle, at least one, I'm sure many, but you never really thought about the center. You just knew it had to be done. And sometimes we forget about all the beauty that lays within. how we feel, the way we roll, how others perceive, the things that we do, the way we hold ourselves. And when you realize that even if a person, a place, a thing doesn't stay in your everyday, it's not because we're being punished. I know that now. It's not that there wasn't enough love for me specifically in order to keep them in my world. But their job was done. Whether I showed them love and light or they showed me love and light. Once love and light are presented, it's up to the other to keep them bright, to keep them vibrant, by keeping them part of your everyday center. Because we're always going to be starting a cycle, we're always going to be migrating through it, and we will always end that cycle. Whether we pick up the next cycle in the same place we ended it, that's up to us. Learning, growing, evolving, that's what ends cycles. Because you now realize and will migrate toward and allow to naturally receive the better side that love and light provides. Because now you're leading with it. It's guiding you. And your spirit team is encouraging you to complete your cycle and not to start it again, but to create a new center of lessons learned and accomplishments and things that are overcome, obstacles into challenges, right? It's all about determination, motivation, perseverance, and remembering that you are everything that there ever was, and you will be everything that could ever be when you choose to grow, to evolve, and to embrace new lessons that life can provide to you on higher vibrations, leading with love and light. And not just sometimes, but all the time. I've led with love and light my entire life. And yes, loving does include being truthful and honest, not only with yourself, not only with your environment, not only with people, places, thoughts, mindsets, patterns that you may come across, but being honest with the universe. Make sure, because the universe sees everything. And what you might think somebody could have overlooked or not saw has been recorded. But you can always change. You can always add love and light and determination, motivation, perseverance. It's all about choice. I can't wait for you to reach out and let me know what cycle you ended and what cycle you're welcoming to start your new venture with. Positive and pure, I'm sure. My lovely collective, try something new today. Invite the endless positive possibilities to come across your path. My lovely friends, wherever you may go, wherever you may be, wherever you may find yourself. I am sending you love and light and encouragement, clarity, wisdom, and knowledge. Important tools to navigate your way. And don't forget, all of this has everything to do with self-love and self-care, because you are enhancing and perfecting you on every level. You may not think so, but you are. We're not going backwards, we're going forward. Life is to be lived and loved. That could be something new. Actually loving, living life. Or living life to love. I'm getting silly. But it's all right. It's all right. Silly is good. I like silly. My lovely collective, if someone fell away from your tribe, be thankful that they came to begin with, regardless of what heart space they touched, good, bad, or indifferent. Everything and everyone has a position, a role, and a place. How long they stay is yet to be determined. Whether they come back is also to be determined. But what I can tell you is that you can always hold loving space. Loving space is a great place. It's warm and it's cozy. It's inviting. You have a great day, my lovely collective. Blessed be.